If God is for us, then who the is against us? Conspiracy or not, strategize and plot. Buy back your block, real estate and stocks. Stack what you got, hold down your spot. Strike while you hot and think the man up top. Conspiracy or not, strategize and plot. Buy back your block, real estate and stocks. Stack what you got, hold down your spot. Strike while you hot and think the man up top. Conspiracy or not, strategize and plot. Buy back your block, real estate and stocks. Stack what you got, hold down your spot. Strike while you hot and think the man up top. Conspiracy or not, strategize and plot. Buy back your block, real estate and stocks. Stack what you got, hold down your spot. Strike while you hot and think the man up top.
Conspiracy or not, strategize and plot.
Welcome to the Wealth Mindset with J.D. Garnier. Listen, I hope you had a productive week in your wealth creation journey. And as always, my goal for you is simple. It's not to help you accumulate wealth. It's not to help you acquire wealth. It is to help you walk in wealth, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. To take the things that God has already given you and use those to create a life of purpose so that wealth is more than just what you acquire. Wealth is who you become. You are the wealth. It's not your investments. It's not your real estate. It's not your business. It's you. And before you have any of those things, you have a unique and specific set of talents, abilities, gifts, ideas, habits, disciplines, and inclinations that form the basis of everything that you do in this world. And once you tap into that, you start your wealth creation journey. So again, you are the wealth. Listen, first things first, please follow me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter at JD Garnier Sr. or Garnier JD. Secondly, you can purchase my new book, The Art of Diversity, selling on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, or directly at my website, jdgarnier.com. This book gives you a blueprint to success in sales. It is my life journey from starting out with no clients, no network, and no assets to building a wealth management practice where we manage over $200 million in assets. I'll walk you through my challenges, my struggles, my trials, my tribulations, as well as my successes. And I have over 50 strategies to use in professional sales. You can buy my book now, and I guarantee if you are in business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are in professional sales, it will change your life. Now let's get into it. What is purpose? Why are you here? You know, we always hear people say you got to know your purpose. You have to find your purpose. But what is purpose? Is it your job? Is it your career, your business, your talent, your gift? You know, some people live their entire lives and never recognize their purpose. Listen, man, life is hard. The burden of existence, the expectations of people, the uncertainty of life, financial worry, family conflict, health concerns, heartbreak, disappointment, failure, pain. I told you life is hard. Now imagine having to do all of that and you don't know your purpose. Today, people are depressed more than ever. People are harming themselves more than ever. More people are wandering aimlessly through life with no ambition, no goals, and no clear purpose. But again, I ask you, what is purpose? Why can't we define it? Now, the world will tell you that purpose is attached to your talent. If you're good at basketball, that's your purpose. If you can sing, that's your purpose. And what happens is we make our goal our purpose, and we put everything that we have into achieving a goal based on a talent, but it has nothing to do with our purpose. And either we become wildly successful financially, but we are left unfulfilled, or we fail and we never find anything else to give that much energy to because we don't know our purpose. But purpose is not fortune. It's not fame. It is fulfillment. You can have all the fame and fortune in the world, and if you are unfulfilled, it won't mean anything. If you acquire riches and it is disconnected from your purpose, you'll never be fulfilled. It means that you've compromised yourself. You can become famous, make millions of dollars, have the entire world at your disposal. And if it requires you to conduct yourself in a way that is disconnected from your purpose, you'll never have peace. That's how important purpose is. All those people that we look up to on social media, reality TV stars, rappers, superstars, people who are millionaires based on their online characters. A lot of those people are depressed. Social media stars are depressed. They have all of the money coming in that you could ask for. But if it is not connected to who they are and their purpose, it's not going to last. They'll never be fulfilled. That is the difference that I'm talking about when I say there's a difference between getting to the bag and producing the tree. You see, the bag is just a scheme to get to the fruit without any ownership in the tree. You get the money, but you have no vested interest in the source. And so when the bag runs out, you got to come up with another scheme. But when you produce the tree, that means that you took a seed and cultivated, developed, nurtured, and grew that seed into something that can produce forever. You took what was already in you that nobody else could see, and you cultivated, developed, nurtured, and grew it into something that can take care of you and your family forever. That's fulfillment. When I first started in wealth management, I didn't know my purpose. My talent was my mind. I had been gifted since elementary school. My gift was public speaking. I was always good at speaking in front of a crowd. My passion was finance and economics. I love learning. I love learning about investments, about wealth, about money. But that wasn't my purpose. After 10 years, I was doing all of that. I was making six figures at a firm. We had season tickets to the Rockets and the Texans. We had a driver taking us around all over the city. We even had a masseuse in our office. I was living the life. I was working with some of the wealthiest people in the city, but I wasn't living my purpose. I was running a book of business for somebody else. I was disconnected from my community. I had no control or autonomy. I was developing a skill set and acumen that allowed me to advise people worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But in my mind and my heart, that skill set was not being used properly. I was using it to make rich people richer, but I felt like my own community needed my knowledge. And then it hit me. My purpose was to be a conduit, to be a channel, and to take all of the knowledge and all of the information that I was learning and transfer it to the people that needed it the most. The reason why I was in rooms that I wasn't supposed to be in, the reason why I was getting knowledge and information that was not available to the general public, the reason I was able to walk in multiple worlds at the same time without compromising who I was, is so that I could be a channel to transfer wisdom. That was my purpose. Purpose is defined as the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. Purpose is an abiding intention to achieve a long-term goal that is both personally meaningful and makes a positive mark on the world. Purpose has nothing to do with what you get for yourself, but everything to do with what you give to the world. I define purpose as God's original instruction in your life. It has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do with your verification or your follower count. It is an original instruction for your life. What are you intended to do? What intention must you abide by? Your profession is just a platform for your purpose. Your job is not your purpose. Your career is not your purpose. Your talent, your ability, your gift is not your purpose. Those are platforms with which to execute your purpose in this world. Your original instruction. Now listen, I don't know everything, but based on my understanding of the Bible, God's instructions are not complicated. They're simple. Your purpose is not to be a lawyer. It's not to be an NBA player. It's not to be a rapper. It's not to be an engineer. Your purpose is to build, is to lead, is to comfort, is to teach, is to explore, is to change, is to challenge, is to defend, is to empower, to inspire, to protect, to heal, to serve. Your purpose is an action word that can be performed anywhere that you are present. If your purpose is to lead, you don't need a title to lead. You can lead from where you are. You can lead from the corner office in a high-rise building, or you can lead a group of people out of the jungle. If your purpose is to build, that's going to manifest itself in every part of your life. You are a builder. Now, why is this important to wealth? Well, wealth is the separation of time and money. And the only way to separate your time from your money is to own and control things of value. And there's only 3 ways to do that: to buy assets, to create assets, or to become an asset. And before you have money to buy assets, before you have the knowledge and acumen to create assets, you come into this world with nothing but your human capital, the sum total of your talents, abilities, and gifts. And it is upon you to become an asset, to become a value to the world before you have any of those things. Because before you have that, you have a unique and specific set of talents, abilities, gifts, ideas, habits, disciplines, and inclinations that form everything that you do in this world. And that is the source of your wealth. But in order to become an asset, which all of you have in the beginning, you have to add value to other people's lives. There is no more value that you can add than your original life instruction. Your purpose is the only way that will endure through the trials and tribulations of life. What it takes to build wealth can only be achieved through your original instruction. And you can't run from that. It's a million ways to make money. I look at deals every day. And every time I've invested in any opportunity that was not connected to my purpose, I lost money. No matter how good it was, I lost. You can go make all kinds of money doing something else, and if it is not connected to what God called you to do, you're not going to be fulfilled. And so my ask of you today is to dig deep. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself the question, am I living in my purpose? And if you're not, that's not the end. It's just the beginning. Start from where you are. That's my message. Wealth mindset.